Hello everyone, welcome to Business School 101. The VRIO framework is a strategy tool that helps organizations identify the resources and capabilities that give them a sustained competitive advantage. As we know, companies possess various kinds of resources and capabilities. Such resources could be financial, human, organizational, physical, or technological in nature. The VRIO analysis is an internal analysis that helps determine the quality and usefulness of a firm's resources and capabilities. The VRIO framework was developed in 1991 by Dr. Barney, a famous American professor and business scholar in strategic management. VRIO is an acronym for valuable, rare, imitability, and organization. So let's learn more about these four components individually. First, valuable. A valuable resource is one that enables the firm to exploit an external opportunity or offset an external threat. This has a positive effect on a firm's competitive advantage. In particular, a valuable resource enables a firm to increase its economic value creation. Revenues rise if a firm is able to increase the perceived value of its product or service in the eyes of consumers by offering superior design and adding attractive features. For example, production costs fall if the firm is able to put an efficient manufacturing process and tight supply chain management in place. Beats Electronics' ability to design and market premium headphones that bestow a certain air of coolness upon wearers is a valuable resource. The profit margins for Beats designer headphones are astronomical. The production costs for its headphones are estimated to be no more than $15, while they retail for $150 to $450, with some special editions costing over $1,000. Thus, Beats' competency in designing and marketing premium headphones is a valuable resource in the VRIO framework. Second, rare. A resource is rare if only one or a few firms possess it. If the resource is common, it will result in perfect competition where no firm is able to maintain a competitive advantage. A resource that is valuable but not rare can lead to competitive parity at best. A firm is on the path to competitive advantage only if it possesses a valuable resource that is also rare. For example, one of the most critical competitive advantages of Google is its advanced search algorithm, which is frequently tweaked in response to changes in the internet environment. This algorithm and Google's ability to deliver the fastest, most comprehensive search is fundamentally responsible for creating the scale advantages that Google enjoys today. The accumulated knowledge and computer code that underlies Google's products would be very difficult for other companies to replicate. That is why Google is able to retain over 90% of the market share in the search engine market for years. Third, imitability. A resource is costly to imitate if firms that do not possess the resource are unable to develop or buy the resource at a reasonable price. If the resource in question is valuable, rare, and costly to imitate, then it is an internal strength and a core competency. If the firm's competitors fail to duplicate the strategy based on the valuable, rare, and costly to imitate resource, then the firm can achieve a temporary competitive advantage. However, a firm that enjoys a competitive advantage attracts significant attention from its competitors. They will attempt to negate a firm's resource advantage by either direct imitation or substitution. We usually see direct imitation as a way to copy or imitate a valuable and rare resource when firms have difficulty protecting their advantage. In 2015, Amazon released the Echo, a personal home assistant that has countless people asking Alexa whether it's raining outside. 1 year later, Google released its Home device, a personal home assistant that has countless people asking Google whether it's raining outside. It's perhaps the starkest example of direct imitation being a reality of the tech world. By the end of 2017, to compete with Amazon and Google, Apple released its HomePod, which is a year after Google Home and 3 years after Amazon Echo. The second avenue of imitation for a firm's valuable and rare resource is through substitution. This is often accomplished through strategic equivalence. Take the example of Jeff Bezos launching and developing Amazon.com. Before Amazon's inception, the retail book industry was dominated by a few large chains and many independent mom-and-pop bookstores. As the internet was emerging in the 1990s, Bezos was looking for options in online retail. He zeroed in on books because of their non-differentiated commodity nature and ease to ship. In some instances, firms are able to combine direct imitation and substitution when attempting to mitigate the competitive advantage of a rival. With its Galaxy line of smartphones, Samsung has been able to successfully imitate the look and feel of Apple's iPhones. Samsung's Galaxy smartphones use Google's Android operating systems and apps from Google Play as an alternative to Apple's iOS and iTunes Store. Samsung achieved this through a combination of direct imitation, such as look and feel, and substitution, such as using Google's mobile operating system and App Store. More recently, both Apple and Samsung are feeling the pressure from low-end distributor Xiaomi, a Chinese smartphone company. As a result of its explosive growth, Xiaomi is now one of the world's largest makers of smartphones. Xiaomi has been spectacularly successful in China and India markets. It also uses Google's Android system on its low-priced models that mimic the look and feel of both the Apple iPhone as well as the Samsung Galaxy line of phones. Fourth, organized to capture value. The final criterion of whether a rare, valuable, and costly to imitate resource can form the basis of a sustainable competitive advantage depends on the firm's internal structure. To fully exploit the competitive potential of its resources, capabilities, and competencies, a firm must be organized to capture value. In other words, they must have in place an effective organizational structure and coordinating systems. We can use the following decision tree to decide if the resource, capability, or competency under consideration fulfills the VRIO requirements. As you can see, only if a firm's managers are able to answer yes 4 times to the attributes listed in the decision tree is the resource in question a core competency that underpins a firm's sustainable competitive advantage. If a firm is not effectively organized to exploit the competitive potential of a valuable, rare, and costly to imitate resource, the best case scenario is a temporary competitive advantage. While the VRIO framework is useful for understanding your competitive position and providing strategic insights, it also has some limitations. First, the business environment is constantly changing, making it difficult, but not impossible, to have a sustainable competitive advantage for the long term. 3 to 5 years is more realistic. Second, new and small businesses may find it more difficult to apply the VRIO framework simply because they haven't yet fully developed their resources or capabilities to establish a sustained competitive advantage. Third, VRIO is solely an internal analysis, so you will need to find other frameworks, such as the pestle analysis, to fill in the gaps. In summary, for a firm to gain and sustain a competitive advantage, its resources and capabilities need to interact in such a way to create unique core competencies. Ultimately, though, only a few competencies may turn out to be those specific core competencies that fulfill the VRIO requirements. A company cannot do everything equally well and must carve out a unique strategic position for itself, making necessary trade-offs. So, what do you think about the VRIO framework? Can you apply this framework to analyze the competitive advantage of a company you are interested in? Please leave your thoughts in a comment below. And if you enjoyed this video, then please be sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.